Okay, let's go with number 10. Baltimore Ravens. Look, I don't know how to explain it, but they're winning football games. They're winning football games. They can run the football. Their defense is at least serviceable. I love their culture. I like their coach. And when Lamar gets back, I think they're going to be way more explosive. Now, here's the beauty of it, though. With their time of possession and with their defense, they don't have to be a 40-a-game type of team.
No.
Can they be a 27-a-game team with Lamar? Yes, they can.
Absolutely.
If so, I would want no part of them in the playoffs. Ravens at 10.
Yeah, their defense is really what kind of solidifies them in that spot, I think, because they can hold on to those tight games. And they have, very rarely does your kicker matter in your ranking. I feel like having Justin Tucker is an automatic, that's got to give you a little bit of a boost because anywhere from 60 yards, you're good, late game.
Late game, if you can just get to the 45, you're in business.
Exactly.
Just get to the 45, you're in business. Number 9, the Jaguars. Look, I love Doug Peterson as a head coach. I think their skill guys on the outside are underrated. I like Kirk and I like Zay Jones. And their defense has been playing really well, especially from a pass rush standpoint, which I think is really important. And no quarterback has been better than Trevor Lawrence over the last 7 weeks.
Yeah.
He's like 110 pass rating. I think he's got 15 touchdowns. Or no, actually 16 touchdowns, one pick in that span. So he's been really, really good. The Jaguars are an ascending football team. They're just coming to their own. And again, I would want no part of them in the playoffs because it's so possible that you outplay them for 3.5 quarters and you lose because Trevor Lawrence is that good.
Yes. And
that's what happened to Dallas. That's what happened to Dallas.
Exactly. And you mentioned the pass rush. The pass rush kind of got Dak off of his way a little bit. And
got him off his spot.
We know how important a pass rush is, especially in late season, especially in the
100%,
playoffs,
100%.
when you can generate that pressure. And plus, it's covering up a lot of the blemishes that they have in their secondary.
Right.
So their corners are looking a lot better than they actually are, I think.
Yeah, they have that Tyson Campbell, I want to say his name is. Either way, he's like a rookie or a young cornerback. Nobody's talking about. He's been better than, I don't know, name your young corner, but he's been better than Surtain. He's been better than J.C. Horn. All the young corners right now, he's been better than, and nobody's talking about him. So they've been good on the back end in spots as well. But like you said, helped out with the pass rush.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 8, let's go with the Chargers.
Justin Herbert. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, so same thing with Lawrence. You could outplay them for 2.5 hours and still lose because Herbert just puts on a cape like he did against Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, that throw on the run to Mike Williams was insane. And what's good about the Chargers is they're getting healthy at the right time. Mm-hmm. Their center's coming back. There's a chance Rashawn Slater could come back for playoffs, although it's looking doubtful, but still a chance. Your top 2 receivers are finally healthy. Derwin James also, although he got, ejected from the game Monday, which was I don't think it was the right call, but either way, he's healthy. The pass rush is getting healthy. I mean, so they're getting healthy in the right spots going into the playoffs, so that's good for the Chargers. Chargers at 8.
And just kind of Justin Herbert is looking very Mahomes-esque, right? Like, end of game.
Yep.
It really comes down to the clock and who gets the ball last. Because if Justin Herbert's getting the ball last they're only down a score, or if they just need to tie, that game's going to overtime or the Chargers are winning.
Yeah, 100%. At number 7 here, let's go with Minnesota. I think they're slightly better than the Chargers right now because I know what I'm getting from the skill pieces. Like, there are games where, although Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are healthy now, that they just won't show up. They're just not a factor.
Yeah.
And I like Minnesota's consistent run game a little bit better. Dalvin Cook, I think, is a slightly better back than Eckler. This is a coin flip game for me. If it's on neutral turf, I'll take Minnesota by a field goal. That's why they're ahead of the Chargers. I like Kirk Cousins. I like their weapons. Now, their defense is piss poor. But it is what it is. It's an offensive league, and they can score points.
And they've proven that they can come back from huge deficits, too.
Right.
Setting a new NFL record, being down 33-0, and then being able to pull yourself back is a feat in itself. Vikings, and they've played well all year. They've played up to expectations and exceeded them. So
people want to tell me, oh, well, they've been in all these close games. If they're so good, why are all the games close? I don't care, really. I don't. The thing is, good teams win close games.
Yeah.
Okay, they find a way to win week in and week out. Whether that's a 61-yard field goal, whether you get a couple pick sixes, whatever, right? They're finding a way to win.
Yep.
At number 6, Dallas. Now, Dallas isn't higher because I think they only have one way to win. Now, you saw it this weekend. They could score points, but I think the way to win, especially as we get into the playoffs, they have to run the football and they have to play good defense. That's why they're not higher, but you can't deny the talent. Micah Parsons, Dak is certainly a B-plus quarterback, good receivers, 2 good backs. Mm-hmm. Trayvon Diggs on the back end is really, really nice. They get a pass rush. They rotate about 7 guys on the defensive line, fresh bodies. So it's a good football team. It's a talented football team. They're not higher because I think they have a script to win, especially as they go into the playoffs.
that's gonna
the top teams can win multiple ways.
and that's gonna tack on a lot of limitations.
Right.
I mean, when you play a team that can hit you with multiple ways of winning, like a Cincinnati, if they see them,
Yep.
in the Super Bowl, if they were to make it there,
Or
I don't
like a San
that
Francisco.
matchup. Or
Right.
or the San Francisco on the way too in the playoffs. I just don't see how a one-dimensional team can really make a bid to go all that far.
Right, but they're super talented, so they definitely deserve to be at 6. They've played
Yeah.
well. They're really, really talented. Not
Oh,
taking
for
anything
sure.
away from them.
I mean, they're beating the Vikings, they're beating the Chargers, they're beating the Jags, and I think they beat the Ravens. So
And I think it'd be really, really close against San Francisco. I'll take San Francisco because they run the football a little bit better, but it'd be a close game.
Yep.
At number 5, that is San Francisco. Look, they're not higher because Brock Purdy. I'm not sure exactly what I'm getting. He is slightly limited, but at the end of the day, he gets the ball out on time and it's accurate. They can run the football. Their defense, I think, is probably the best in the league.
Oh, easily.
I mean, Fred Warner and Kinlaw, the linebackers, are just or Greenlaw, Dre Greenlaw, unbelievable, unbelievable. They have an all-pro level player at every single level. Hufanga on the back end. You got Fred Warner and Greenlaw. You got Nick Bosa, who is he your defensive player of the year? It's
got
it's him or Micah. It's certainly he's got an argument. You got Debo, he'll be back. George Kittle, C-Mac. I mean, they're loaded. They're loaded. Brandon Ayuk. So, like I said, the only reason they're not higher is I'm not sure if I can trust Brock Purdy to go on the road in a playoff game. If somebody's coming to him, I'll take San Fran all day. Now, if he has to go on the road to Philly, I don't love that. That's
really
not a good
tough
matchup. Yeah.
Especially because the Eagles play a really tough physical defense like the
right.
49ers.
Right.
That's a tough one. But 49ers at 5, I think they're fitting in there perfectly right now. And they have a lot of room to move up to.
100%.
If Brock can, prove
If I
that
see
he's
Brock go ahead and win a playoff game, I'd probably put him at 1.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the best roster in the league.
I think so too.
Number 4, let's go with the Bills. I like the Bills, but I think they're a little bit overvalued. They can't run the football consistently. The line is pretty average to below average. And I do like their defense, but they are a little bit weak in the secondary, which is weird considering the talent they have back there. Tre'Davious White. I want to say Micah Hyde's out for the year, but Jordan Poyer's in, or maybe he's out and Hyde's in. They have one of their 2 really, really nice safeties. Their top DB, they have Matt Milano. They have a good defensive front, but they're not playing up to expectations, and they can't run the football. But you have to respect what they can do on the outside. You have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, who has been streaky this year, but I trust in big spots. He's going to make the play. So it's an explosive offense, but I'm not sure how well it's going to travel if they have to go to a Cincinnati, if they have to go to a Kansas City.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen them stack up against Kansas City and lose the last 2 years.
Right.
And a lot of that has been problems in the secondary. So if you're still going to kind of have those issues, I expect a lot of the same thing. If you're not going to, if you keep attacking the same problem with the same plan, the same scheme, and it keeps ending in the same result, that's kind of the definition of insanity.
Right.
So the Bills, I have seen a lot of rankings that have them at like 2. I think that's a little inflated.
I think NFL or maybe it was Bleacher Report or whatever just post their power rankings. They're at 1. So I'm like, I don't see that. I don't see that. They're certainly a really, really good football team. If they ran the table in the AFC and went to the Super Bowl, would I be surprised? Absolutely not. Not even close. We have them in the Super Bowl. So
yeah, I mean, Josh Allen has to account for, I'd say 90% of that of that ranking of being at number 1.
100%. At number 3, let's go with the Eagles. They are human, right? The defense got exposed a little bit versus Dallas, but at the end of the day, that's a really good football team. They're going to run the football, great line play on both sides of the ball. They have talent on the outside. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith's a freak.
Yeah, he is.
It's a good secondary most of the time, so they got exposed a little bit. It happens. You go on the road against a good team. It is what it is.
It's going to happen.
But it is a factor, right? I think that's why I don't put them at 1. And also going into the playoffs here, I have to see Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni win a playoff game before I can crown them. Like the two teams above the Eagles have won playoff games with the coach and quarterback pairing. They've went on the road, won playoff games, came from behind in big spots. I haven't seen that yet from Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. So that's why they're not higher.
Right.
All right, number 2, let's go with the Bengals. It was a coin flip between them and the Chiefs. I trust Mahomes a little bit more, and I trust Andy Reid a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close. Look, like I said, I think Burrow's better on third down, but what Mahomes been able to do, transform from an entirely big play offense to now he's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league, that's going to travel really well going into the playoffs, so that's why they're 1. Bengals at 2 because they've been beat up a little bit. Defense has shown they're kind of human. Mostly they're good in the second half, but lost it
Yeah.
in New England. Thank God they were able to save it. But I don't know. Bengals at 2, Chiefs at 1 feels right. You could convince me Bengals at 1, Chiefs at 2. It's a coin flip for me. I'll go with the more proven quarterback and coach combo.
Yeah, see, I was between thinking Bengals 1, Chiefs 2, just because they have that win. I'm not sure that's like such a because I think that's more of a matchup thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
like I think the Bengals match up just really really well against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You put them against a really high caliber team and
So I mean, they
like a Bengals Bills game like we're gonna see this week.
I can't wait to watch it. I cannot wait to watch it.
That's gonna be very telltale of these rankings here,
So
and we could see that move.
the Bengals have beat the Chiefs 3 straight times, but if they played, if you take that out 10 times, 5-5, 6-4 maybe, like
Probably.
it's really really close.
I mean,
They're two really
3-0
close
is a
games.
statistical anomaly. I would have to think.
And they've all
right?
been really really close. They've all been really close football games. So
And I like Burrow and I like Mahomes. So
that's our top 10. We got the Ravens at 10, Jags at 9, Chargers at 8, Vikings at 7, Dallas at 6. We got San Fran at 5, Buffalo at 4, Philadelphia at 3, Cincinnati at 2, and Kansas City as the number 1 team in the NFL here going into Week 17.